Greetings. Welcome to the video. Today I am going to be starting a reading marathon slash cram session. So the long story short is that I love to use the public library to read books. However, the caveat here can be when I'm reading a book that someone else wants. And in this case, it's like 10 people are waiting for this book. So instead of having 1 month to read this book, like with the normal checkout timeline with my public library, I only had 2 weeks. And what did not help is I was already reading a book. And instead of making the logical decision to pivot away from the book, oh dear, hey, I know I wasn't logical, but I'm trying to explain. Thank you. Instead of making the logical decision, to pause the story that I was reading that nobody is waiting at this point in time to read, I continued to read the book that was not due immediately and didn't finish it until very recently. And now the book that I'm reading next is due tomorrow. So I'm going to see if I can do basically like a cram read session. I do believe that this is a thriller book, and typically thriller books, if they interest me, if they hook me in, I can read through them pretty fast. So let me show you the book. Ah! All right, so the book that I am going to try to do a speed read through is called Best Offer Wins. I think there's like 10 people waiting in line to read this book from me, and I just started reading it last night and they want it back. It's due tomorrow. Now, in the best case scenario, what happens here is I do finish this book in one evening, or I read some tonight, read some tomorrow, and then put it in the Dropbox uh, to return it into the Dropbox tomorrow night. That's the best case scenario. So we'll see if I am able to accomplish this. I think I'm about 4 chapters in, and doing a quick Google before starting this video recording, it said there are maybe 29 chapters, so 25 chapters to go. So will this book hook me enough to where I can read through it? I hope so, but this is going to be a vlog to chronicle this cram session, this literature light speed. I can't think of something cool right now, but light speed literature cram session. So this vlog will be me kind of trying to document the journey and see if I am successful or not. So what I need to do is eat dinner, and I've got a couple of other things to work on, and then I'm going to try to cozy up and see how far I can get through this. And in my head, I wanted to do something like cute and make a little printout. I don't know that these things are going to happen because we don't have time. My ADHD brain is like, "Ooh, let's do all these other things aside from the thing we're supposed to be doing." And then I waited until the very last minute to accomplish the goal in like minded fashion. So let's see if we can get through this book. I have faith. I believe that good things can happen for my page progression today, but let's see what actually happens. All right, here we go. Starting out splendidly here with me trying to nourish my body and make my very simple dinner, but I kept starting this electric tea kettle type device and then going and doing other things. And it had already reached its boiling point probably several times. So I need to restart that again and then make my dinner, eat my dinner, do some work on the computer, and then we'll be diving into the book. Take a look. It'll be the book of reading cram session. Okay, let's try. So it's time to do an update on this reading marathon. So last night I got like 100 pages in. Then I had to recalibrate. My priorities shifted for the evening. Long story short, we're about 100 pages in, maybe a little more than that. And it's about a close to 300-page book. My book due date is today, the day that I'm recording right now. So, best case scenario at this point is I finish it tonight and then drop it in the box tomorrow, only one day late. So, let's continue reading and see what happens. Wait, let me show you how far I am. We are almost halfway, so it is possible, and I am excited to finish this book. It does have my attention, so I find it to be an easy read, one to go through a little more quickly. So let's see if I can pull it off. So I think I finally made it. Oh, halfway. I think I finally made it halfway. This looks halfway to me, maybe even a little more. So I'm excited. Greetings! This is going to be me posting a final update for my speed read, which I should have called it a speed read since the very beginning, but my speed read of my library book, Best Offer Wins. And there was a plot twist that happened in real life with me reading this book. Basically, I was reading last night and I took a little like break. So I bookmarked, pulled up my phone, and I get a ding. It's an email from the library. And usually this happens because they're saying, we couldn't renew your book, so it's overdue now. And that's 100% what I thought that it was. Nope. I opened the email and it was the library telling me that they were renewing my book. And I was like, what? I thought there was 10 people in line. Apparently there's nobody in line anymore. So they renewed my checkout of this book, but I finished it. So I did finish it last night, yesterday, which was the day that it was due, and then they renewed it because I guess people got out of line. I've been in line for this book for a while, so I guess everyone disappeared or got the e-copy. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to return this book now. Long story short, my speed read was to be determined if it was successful or not because it ended up renewing. But it worked out anyway because I finished the book and I just laughed when I saw that email and then kept reading. So this particular book was fun for me to speed read because it was something that kept me interested. I thought that the plot was entertaining for my taste. So this was something that's right up my alley. And I could not tell when I started the story how it was going to end. And it was kind of like a thriller sort of a thing. So, how I can best summarize this book without spoilers, there is the main character, and the main character is at a point in her life where she wants to have like this dream life that she envisions for herself. And part of that dream that she has is this home, and she finds the perfect home. But it's a time in the market where it has been such a struggle and so many competitive offers and bids, and they've just been failing and failing and failing at getting this house. But she thinks that it's the perfect house for her. And so the book is going through that experience of how obsessed she becomes with this home. But I won't give any spoilers away. I was I was not able to guess what happened in the end. I was kind of like, what? So I enjoyed reading it. It was entertaining. This is a type of book that I would read. Typically thrillers or books like this one, I can typically read pretty quickly. It's when I get outside of the thriller or psychological thriller or domestic thriller genre that I kind of struggle and can go a little more slowly. But that being said, the book is finished. I'm going to return it to the Dropbox for the library along with another book. So I finished the book Bride, which, if you watch my dopamine diary videos, and that is just where I compile different things that gave me dopamine, and reading is one of those things. It's one of my pretty little pastimes. So if you've watched those, you probably heard me talking a little bit about that book, Bride. So I'm going to drop both of these books off in the Dropbox, and I still have two library books waiting on my shelf for me to read. Am I going to speed read them? Well, that depends. Their due dates are about a month out. However, if there is a story that captivates me, it can turn into a voluntary speed read where it's not me having to speed read because of a time constraint. It's just I'm so invested in the story that I must know more. And I love when that happens. So thanks for joining me on this speed read. I may do more in the future, but like I said, reading is one of my pretty little pastimes. So if you're interested in seeing other little pretty pastimes that I have, feel free to check out my channel and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.